Today I'm going to show you a beginner tutorial on how to make thumbnails for YouTube. One thing you'll notice with famous YouTubers is that they always have quick, easy thumbnails. It usually includes a picture of the YouTuber in the image, along with something that kind of connects to their video, but not always directly. So today I'm going to show you how to recreate this thumbnail using Photoshop as if you are a beginner. So the first thing you want to do is go to File and Create New, and make sure you're creating an image that's the correct size. YouTube thumbnails are currently 1280 by 720 pixels. Once you have your image selected, the next thing that you really want to do is create a background. So I'm going to use the Paint Bucket tool in my Tools panel, which is about midway down. Select the color black and just color the background black. I'm going to unlock that layer. Then to add just another effect, I'm going to use the Paintbrush tool. Double click the foreground color to make it a blue image. And then I'm just going to add a couple stripes in here with my paint bucket. Now this isn't exactly the look that I'm going for, so I'm going to go back and forth with the black to create a unique texture to these lines. Another way that you can do this is to update your brush settings in the brushes panel, but this is just a beginner way that you can use a basic brush preset and create some texture with your lines. I'm going to change the blending mode over in my layers panel. You'll see at the top of the layers panel it says normal, and you can change that, go down the line to see if you like any of those adjustments. I'm going to click the dissolve option and then lower my opacity just a little bit. So now that I have this cool texture going on in the background, I'm going to create layers on top of this. Photoshop is all about layers. So on the right side, I'm going to add something in. I already have pulled up here an image that I took on my camera. I do recommend choosing a nice high quality photo to complement your YouTube thumbnail. So one really cool thing that Photoshop has, if you go to your quick selection tool, which is the fourth tool down, and you look in the control bar, there is an option that says select subject. If you click select subject, it's going to automatically select some of those difficult areas like hair. Now you'll notice that my shirt is missing from the selection, so I'm going to click the plus sign up in the control bar, and then I am going to add back in the corner of my shirt. Once I have the selection how I like it, I'm going to use the move tool, which is the top tool in your tools panel, and click and drag this into my workspace. Okay, now you notice that my image is a lot larger than the workspace I'm working with, so I'm going to click Control T to resize the photo. Make sure this link option is selected so that it maintains proportion, and then I'm just going to reduce this by 50%. Now my image is a lot easier to work with, and I can still click and drag in the corners to get it exactly the size that I want it. So I'm going to put this in the bottom right corner, and then I want to be pointing up at a large number of subscribers. Now I've already done this by going to a YouTuber's channel and click and taking a snipping tool, which is ultimately a screenshot of that number. I'm just going to copy over what I already have created over here. So I'm going to click and drag this image into my new image. Another thing I did to this layer, you can see I added an effect to it. This is done by clicking that FX button in the bottom right of the layers panel. I can show you what I did here to check my settings. I just have a normal blend mode and then did the basic settings. So it has this black outline now around the box. I do want to put my face in front of the picture so it looks like I'm pointing at it. So I'm going to click and drag that top layer down. The next thing that I want to do is to add that little YouTube button in the top left corner. I did this again by going and taking the snipping tool and getting a screenshot of the YouTube icon. So I'm going to copy and paste that into my workspace. Now you see the YouTube logo has this white space around it because I did take that screenshot. This is really easy to fix like we did before by going to your quick selection tool, which is the fourth tool down, and again clicking select subject in the control bar. That's going to select just the YouTube logo that I want. Now there's a couple ways to do this, but because I don't care at all about the white background, I'm going to go to select and click inverse. That's going to select the opposite of my selection. So when I click delete, it will leave me with just that YouTube logo. Now Control D is deselect. I'm going to click and drag this up to the top left corner and just go and rotate it, and I want it just like that. Now, a lot of YouTubers, if you notice, have a glow around their image. Mr. Beast usually uses a dark outer glow to kind of darken it, but a lot of YouTubers will use white as well. So I'm going to create a white outer glow. The way that I'm going to do this is by duplicating my picture layer by clicking and dragging to the plus sign in the layers panel. Now I have two of the exact same layer. So next, I'm going to control click on my layer copy to create, again, that same selection. Then I'm going to go to select, modify, and click expand, and I'm going to expand by 3 pixels. Now that expanded my selection, so next I'm going to choose my brush tool, make sure white is selected, and I'm just going to color over everything on that layer. Then I'm going to bring it to the bottom so it's behind my picture. And you'll see now it appears like this outer glow. I'm going to again add the FX button, which is the layer style, and choose outer glow. And I do want to reduce some of the intensity here, so I'm going to lower the opacity on that outer glow. The last thing that I want to do is to type something in the bottom. Now, this video is all about making thumbnails, so I'm going to write the word clickbait to kind of add an additional layer of interest when you look at this picture. I do want it to match the color of the YouTube logo, so I'm going to click in the control bar, and I'm going to just sample the color of this YouTube logo to make it my foreground color. Click OK, and it's automatically going to change the color of my text. Control T to again resize the text. I want it to be a little bit bigger. And then I would like again an outer glow. So I'm going to go again after my text is created to the FX button, create outer glow, but this time I want it to be a white outer glow. So I'm going to click that white button. You can adjust the opacity to make it as intense as you would like. All right, next, just to add a final element to this, I want to choose an arrow clicking the word clickbait. So I found this icon online that was a royalty-free image, and I'm going to click and drag it over to my photo. Then I'm going to resize it like we did before by reducing the size by 50%, and then clicking to make it smaller. Now this image is obviously black, which isn't showing up well, so I do want to make it white. There's an easy way to change the color without having to do much. I'm going to, again, control click on that layer thumbnail, which will select everything in my layer. Then I'm going to go to my brush tool and just paint over everything that was selected. Now I have a white clicking arrow instead of a black one. So I'm going to adjust it so that it's over my text. A great thing to do is to label your layers. Obviously, I have not done that here, but that would be a way to avoid mixing them up. Now I'm going to reduce the size of this arrow, adjust it a little bit, and there I have my YouTube thumbnail. Make sure to subscribe and follow for more digital design content.